Do you have loads of folders of old documents that you know you could destroy but don't because they're mixed up with things you should keep? Do you wish you had a simple system in place that showed you which documents you could destroy at the right time every year without any sorting? Stick around because that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. I'm Ben Ballack, and a few years ago I decided to try and figure out the ultimate system for organising your home filing. But first let's tidy up this tornado and lightning courtesy of my kids. Given that I've used this system now for a couple of years and I haven't made any changes to it, I think that means it's pretty much ready to share with you. If you've ever put any thought into designing such a system, you'll have quickly realised that it's actually a lot harder than just coming up with different groups of box files. The real hurdle comes when you try and design a system that not only organises things in the right place to make them easy to find, but, and this is crucial, makes them easy to destroy at the right time. And without that, you end up just getting buried in mountains of obsolete paperwork as the years go past. Essentially what we need is a sort of self-cleansing filing system. So let's get stuck in. The first thing you want to do is come up with your main categories, and then out of those main categories you need to work out how long you want to keep each one for. Some of your categories might need 2 lifespans. For example, your proof of purchase receipts, normally you'd have a 2-year one, but some of your items might have an extended warranty and you'd want to keep the receipts for longer. So for that I normally just have a 6-year category which covers the longest of my extended warranties on things. What I tend to do for the main groupings is actually just create groups based on the organisation that sends you the documents. It's much easier to find a document when you're looking based on who sent it to you, rather than sort of trying to remember if you created a separate category for something like house when actually you're just after a document that's come from the council. Ultimately, you'll end up with a list that looks like this. The grouping is fairly flexible and you can definitely tailor this to your own circumstances. The main thing is to come up with a lifespan for each individual group and subdivide if you need to. So now for the magic bit. What you need to do is create a copy of each group for each year in its lifespan and then add one more. So for example, for the 2-year proof of purchase category, you'd have the first one, which is going to be the current year, and then 2 more for each year until you're in the year where everything in the first one is over 2 years old. So the first one is going to be 2020 and we'll label it for destruction in 2023. That way anything we add in, say, December 2020 is always going to be over 2 years, even in January 2023 when we destroy that older category. So the destruction year is always one more than the lifespan for that group. So for the next 2 years you don't need to do anything, but in 2023 you can delete the 2020 folder. And the space that makes can then be used for the 2023 current year. So you'd label that 2023, delete in 2026. So each year you destroy the oldest one and then that space is used for your current year and those folders just get looped around forever. For longer lifespan categories, you just need to increase the number of folders for that section. As you can see, the system does end up with lots of different folders, but that actually makes the whole system work really well day to day. Having things organised by the year they were generated makes it really easy to find individual files if you ever need to, as well as of course being needed for the annual deletion process. One thing having the large number of separate categories in the system kind of forces you to do is have a physical storage system that's flexible in its nature, so that different quantities of items in each category can be accommodated just as it expands. And these concertina folder filing systems are really good for that. They're really cheap, and the fact that they're open at the top makes it a lot easier to access and put stuff in as well. I've lived with this system for a few years now and it's generally proved itself really effective. I did my first destroy and rename of one of the categories this year and that felt great. Give it a go for yourself, and if you've got any other tips about organising paperwork, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.